Your specific person has been silently telling you exactly how to manifest them, along with everyone else in your reality. So if you could do this one thing, you are going to manifest so much faster and so much more effortlessly. Because when we look at our 3D, how do we normally view it? Normally, when it comes to our 3D, so our external reality, everything happening around us, we're told that we should ignore it, right? You should ignore what's happening and then persist in the end state of exactly what you want. And now I will say that your 3D does not give you any complete indication to where you can go. Meaning, if you're not seeing exactly what you want in your 3D reality at this current moment, it is not impacting your end state because everything is just a state that is reflecting outside of you. So if your 3D is not reflecting exactly what you want, then all we have to do is change our state. So if our specific person is not showing up in the way we want, all we have to do is switch our state and we'll see a reflection in that outside of us. But our 3D actually gives us a lot of positive and amazing information as to the way in which we are being. And let me actually start with the Neville Goddard quote that's going to make this make more sense. So Neville Goddard wrote, "Our subconscious assumptions continually externalize themselves that others may consciously see us as we subconsciously see ourselves, and tell us by their actions what we have subconsciously assumed ourselves to be." This quote gives further depth into the concept of our reality being a mirror. So this morning, or at some point in your life, I'm sure you used a mirror to get ready. And so why is that? And you would say, oh, because the mirror always reflects who I am or the state that I'm in or currently wearing, what I'm wearing, my clothes, the way I look, and I use it in order to make sure I look the way I want before I go out. And so we can actually use our external 3D reality in that same way. So it is constantly and always reflecting who you are. The mirror does not discriminate based on what you want. It always reflects exactly your current state of being. And so in the same way Neville Goddard wrote that our subconscious assumptions continually externalize themselves that others may consciously see us as we subconsciously see ourselves, then we can remember that the way in which people view us in our reality is actually this secondary mirror that we can use to see how we are subconsciously seeing ourselves. Because most of the time, we totally forget that. We think or assume that we are living in the end, but in reality, go out and do something completely in the opposite, which would be like assuming and acting or feeling as if you already have your specific person, but then going out and complaining about being single. This would be an action in which you are subconsciously actually seeing yourself as compared to what you would affirm, because the way you act and the way of being in your reality is much closer to who you truly feel yourself to be than in the opposite. Meaning, if I were to just yell your name, you would probably immediately look without even thinking about it. That's the same way in which it is subconsciously impacting you. And so we want to have a subconscious impact on what we are doing in our reality in order to manifest our specific person. So what you should or can do right here and right now, again, to manifest so much quicker, so much faster, I'm going to tell you this will be absolutely outrageous of an activity and a technique if you perform it, is to look in your reality and ask yourselves, how do people view me? If they are always acting in a way that reaffirms what I'm subconsciously thinking about myself, how are they acting? How do they view me? Do they view me as someone who is single, or do they view me as someone who is in a relationship? And the question as you begin to answer that is going to again tell us what we are subconsciously doing. So what you can do right here and right now is ask yourself, why would someone view me as someone who is single? And then whatever you come about from answering that question is going to be things that you want to begin refusing to do in your reality or refusing to even think about. But at the same time, you can ask yourself, why would someone see me as someone who is in a relationship? And then what you're going to want to do with those is continuously act and amplify those characteristics, because that is going to be what takes you closer to your manifestation. And I know, again, this may sound crazy because normally we want to refuse our external reality, but it's going to give you massive insight into the way of our being. Because I can't tell you how many times, if it's taking a long time to manifest or longer than you would like it to be, then it just means the way in which we are acting or being in our reality isn't aligning with our current state or the desired state of mind. But then we fall into this illusion of trying to ignore our 3D reality because usually we don't like what we are currently manifesting. But what you are seeing in your reality is not an embodiment of where you can go or what you can do. It's just affecting our current state. So whenever you see an outcome in your reality that you don't that you dislike, it really doesn't matter. It says nothing about where you can go, and you can actually use it as an empowering idea to then alter whatever it is and change your state. Basically meaning if your specific person isn't blowing up your phone right now or isn't obsessed with you right now, that doesn't mean that they won't be able to. This is where that whole idea of if he wanted to, he would comes from, where we think as if we don't have everything that we want right here and right now, it means that we can never have it. But that's not the case. Every single goal, every single manifestation that you could ever have is going to be unseen before it is seen. So that's why Neville Goddard talks about this idea of viewing your reality in this way, or seeing how people are reacting or acting towards you, to see the subconscious affirmations, assumptions, and beliefs that we have about ourselves. And when I mention, as you begin to do this, it's going to become so much easier. Everyone who acts this out is going to be with their specific person, because there's no way to deny it. If you know exactly how and why you're acting or living or feeling in your end state, and you know why you might not be, then it is not a question of what to do or how to do it or when I'll be with my specific person. The answer then becomes obvious because you no longer can refuse or limit yourself because you know exactly what to do. It'll begin to lay out your manifestation in such a way where it feels almost too simple. And this is what I always talk about in my videos. The manifestation is meant to be easy and effortless. And if we feel in the opposite, it doesn't mean we're doing anything wrong. It just means that we're complicating the process. Because again, it can be really easy. This idea of knowing or asking yourself, how would other people view me, is a secondary idea in which we talked about. Meaning, again, I just want to repeat this, a mirror cannot reflect what is not in front of it. So if you're seeing people react or act in a way towards you in your reality that you feel is quite odd or strange, I want you to question that, because everyone and everything is always reflecting you. Without your state of consciousness, there is nothing to reflect. If you put nothing in front of a mirror, you are going to see absolutely nothing. So take time throughout your day, right here and right now, and ask yourself that. Again, why would someone view me as already being in a relationship? And then act upon and amplify those thoughts, ideas, and actions. And also ask yourself, why would someone not see me as someone in a relationship? And absolutely stop or cease any of those thoughts and actions. And when you try this out, it doesn't have to take a long time in order to go into effect. If you do this within the next 24 hours, you are going to see and feel a difference. As always, if you did have any questions on this at all, make sure to comment them in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys had a great and fantastic holiday week. If you did have any questions and you wanted to send them to me personally, head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where you can reach me personally if you wanted to send me a personal question or personal message, whatever it is, success story, as well as this. Make sure to comment all of those success stories that you receive from that last video I had about manifesting for you. Because if you truly took that seriously and acted in that way and were looking for success, you should and have been seeing those successes. We might just not have been aware of them. So make sure to comment those down. Or if you haven't already, review that. Go look at that video and act it out again, because manifestation can happen in ways totally above and beyond your logical mind. So be ready for an acceptance of everything. Again, I wanted to say thank you so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in my next video tomorrow.